What's up, everybody? This is Jason David Frank, the Green Ranger, and you are watching Ranger Wrap Up. Peace!
Welcome. It is Saturday. And you know what that means. It is time for your favorite Power Ranger live stream here, live on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining us on your Saturday. Like I say, every single week, you could be anywhere else in the world today, but you are here with us. And Daniel?
We appreciate it. We truly do.
Yes, we do. And today, we don't have Joe with us, but today we are joined by a special guest. Some of you may know him. Some of you may have seen him in the chat. He's been riding and dying with us since our days at Hashtag. It is the one and the only. I'm not going to use your government name because I'm going to, let people know the name Blackwing. Blackwing, how you doing today, man?
What up, you guys? Thanks for having me here. I appreciate it, and just happy to be here talking about Power Rangers with fellow Ranger fans.
Yeah, we're glad to have you. Thank you so much for joining us. Oh, Daniel, who do we got in the chat right now?
Man, we got a lot of people in the chat right now. Of course, we got the man, the myth, the legend, Heirloom, who mentioned recently that he does not care about Zordon's background, at least not in the comics. How can you, Heirloom? Also, we have Jalen Glover. Shout out to Jalen Glover. The man is back. We got Jared Hodges, Larry Newbill. We have, I'm looking at people start to go ahead and type a few things. Yeah. Thomas Franco. We got a lot of people in there, and if you guys want me to be able to yell out, shout out your name, say something. Say something in the chat. See you, and trust me, I will say, look who else is here. But besides that, moving on from that situation, Jezer.
Yeah.
How has your week been?
It has been going. It's been pretty busy. What did I do this week? I got regular work, and then I actually had an opportunity to sit down with the director of a few of the new Saved by the Bell episodes, which was pretty cool. It was done on the phone. I was trying to put in a good word for Abraham, maybe get him a bigger role in the next season. So we'll see what goes there. How it goes over there. So he's pretty open to it. So hopefully that happens. This is actually the first time we've had Blackwing with us. For those who don't know us, Blackwing, would you like to describe yourself and the type of content that you put out there into the universe?
Sure. I am what you call an unapologetic black nerd because it's part of my personality. It's who I am. And I just love talking about geek-related things. And on my channel, I do movie reviews. I do do Power Ranger videos from time to time because last year I did like a whole binge watching the entire franchise from MMPR to Beast Morpher Season 2. I ain't doing that again unless somebody pays me to do that. So... And sometimes I do like DC versus Marvel videos and some voice acting videos as well. So it's been, I've been doing this for like about 7.5 years now, and it's been fun. It has its ups and downs, but as long as you, just keep putting out content and things go well. And currently this year I'm doing like a whole Walt Disney animation and Pixar movie marathon. So I'm looking forward to, doing. I already put my review up for Snow White. I just been slacking with putting my review up for Pinocchio.
Wow.
So.
Oh, all right. We'll get back to some of your interests in a second, but we do got a super chat from Christian Durius. He says, "How you been?" Well, we've been good. We've been decent. How are you, Blackwing? You're a big DC fan, right?
I like both. Yes. But more important, I could see DC because DC is the franchise that pretty much got me into, reading, comic books.
Yeah. I don't know why I always link you and the John Stewart Green Lantern together.
I love John Stewart because he was the reason why I always, have John Stewart as my profile pic is because he was like the first ever, superhero of color that I saw as a kid because, there's not that much. There are superheroes of color that look like us, but to me, John Stewart stands out the most because one, green is my favorite color, and two, it was amazing just to see a superhero in a cartoon, the Justice League cartoon, someone that looked like me. So that's why John Stewart holds a special place in my heart.
That's why I think that's why I always link you guys together. We do have another super chat. Layla, she says, "Hey y'all, I see you, Toku bro, doing your thing, popping in the last break on my last break.
Thank you, sis. Thank you, Toku sis. I really do appreciate it.
The Toku Nation is here. The Toku Nation is here.
Yeah, man.
Um,
Yeah.
So you've been rolling with us for a while since hashtag, and the joke goes on that we always say that you're the younger version of Daniel. I mean, you can see it. You're wearing
I
you're
forgot
wearing
about that
the
joke.
the glasses right now. When we started the little the little Skype call in, I was like, oh, he's wearing glasses too, and like you guys side to side, it was just like, damn it, man, he just leaves it open for it. But you know, we'll let Joe do that. We'll let Joe do that next time he comes in. But
Oh,
what when we were over with hashtag, what initially brought you over to that side, and how did you start? How did you find out about us there?
Okay, so funny. I think it was like my senior year of high school. I was pulling all nighter doing homework, and then I was just on YouTube looking at Power Ranger interviews, and pretty much what stood out was the Power Ranger interviews that you guys did back on hashtag. And I always liked, the little quiz that Joe came up with and everything. It was fun. It was very interactive, and it was just overall enjoyable. And what really pulled me in was the Ranger wrap up with when Joe and DJ was reviewing episodes for Super Dino
Yeah, yeah.
Charge. And what pretty much made me feel part of the show, I could say, was the question and comments portion of the wrap up, because not a lot of YouTubers really do that, because they don't really like pay attention to the comments. They don't read back to them. Sometimes YouTubers, they would have like their opening, and they would just have all these random comments that people want suggestions of and everything. But you guys, you actually you talk directly to your audience, whether it's through video or if it's through live. So
Yeah.
that's what pretty much draw me into the hashtag show, and I've been a fan of you guys ever since.
Now you're part of
Now
the
it's a-
team, man.
yeah, now I'm a part of the
That's
team.
amazing. We got a few more super chats. One from Christian Durias again. Sorry if I'm messing up your name. It says, I was excited for Morphicon for June because school's out of the way, but then it's moved over to the date in August where I have school on the way. I mean, that could be a good starting topic for us to talk about. We did talk about it last week, and Daniel, you got off easy again this week because Joe's not here. He didn't have your sandwich for you, bro. He didn't have your
We
sandwich.
still don't have a sandwich yet? Uh-oh.
Oh, no. I mean, not the proper.
I guess
sandwich.
he's getting Daniel a spicier one because we just.
Uh-oh.
The actual Reaper. So yeah, apparently the guy messed it up and gave me one that was hot, but not the hottest.
Yeah.
So I mean,
But we are in contact with them. They did message us on Twitter because he saw the Twitter post, and I think he loved your video, Daniel. So we'll get you that sandwich. But
It's just everyone wants to have an ulcer. Right? That's what's happening right now.
so going back to the cancellation, they say postpone the cancellation on Power Morphicon. Blackwing, what's your take on that whole situation? Because we had our say last week, but we want to hear what you thought.
I could say I was surprised, but then again, not entirely surprised, because there's no way the pandemic will be dispersed by June, because
Mhm.
vaccines are still being passed out and everything. Some people are still catching COVID, which is also unfortunate, and it's a heavy process. So I mean, for me, when PMC got first postponed back last year, I was of course very disappointed, because I saved up that's one of the reasons why I got a job, because I was saving up all my money just to buy the tickets and then have to buy the airfare, because I know at PMC, just by seeing the stuff that happened at PMC back in 2018, and shout out to Larry, who was able to allow me to Skype call him through on Skype just to see you guys.
I
and
do
just
remember that.
Talk to everybody. Yeah, I
That
definitely
was dope.
yeah, that was fun. That's my only, like, I can say, bird's eye view experience of Power Morphicon. So I was disappointed that it got postponed the first time. So now that I got postponed again to next year, I think it seems fitting, because there's still a lot of work to be done, and it's best to keep everybody
And they're
safe.
working on your time, man. They know that you're still saving up the money, So like, hey, let's
Yeah,
give Blackwing another year to gather up all that money he's going to be spending over at Power Morphicon. We do have another super chat. We've got two actually. One's from Larry Newbell, our bro over there. He says, "Once you're in the Illuminati family, you're in the Illuminati family for life." Unfortunately, yes.
We're ready for life.
I love it.
Christian Durias, another one. He says, "I should ditch class and go to Power Morphicon. LOL. LOL. By the way, what's the name of the chicken sandwich place and where?" Daniel, what's the name of the chicken sandwich and where is it from?
It's Jaybirds, and also it's the Reaper that I need to get, and it was in Long Beach. So that's pretty much all the info that you asked for, and that's what I'm giving it to you. I just warn you, be prepared. Have a tall glass of milk.
Yeah. So they did cancel this Power Morphicon, but they're replacing it with a digital con. Like we talked about last week. Are you guys happy with the digital con? Are you guys excited to see what happens with that?
I'm excited. I'm excited because, like I said before, they've seen other people do digital cons, and they've had enough time to try to see what works, see what doesn't, see what they can adjust, see what they, probably need to work around. So with that, I'm interested to see what they're going to do that's new, what's relevant, and pretty much try to be a trailblazer.
Yeah.
Do something that everyone else isn't going to be able to do, because by the next time you are going to have a con, it's going to be in person. So every con you've ever done has been big. It's been something.
Mm-hmm.
So make sure that the digital one is also big.
Blackwing?
For me, as far as virtual cons go, I'm not really a fan of it, but in this case, I'm willing to see what they do. And there was a lot of anniversaries that are happening this year. Like Time Force turns 20 this year, Zeo turns 25. So I was wondering what special anniversary panels that they were gonna have for PMC. So
Ooh.
I'm willing to check out the panels and see what they have. And for people who purchase the high tier badges, I want to see what stuff that they have planned for them, because I did purchase 2 gold badges for me and for because me and my dad, we were planning on going to Power Morphicon last year, so hopefully they have something still in the
Did they
works.
say they're just pushing it over to 2022 or?
Yeah, they did say they were pushing the badges towards 2022.
Yeah, that's a lot of logistical. It's a logistical nightmare for them. So, good luck to them. We do got another super chat from our boy Jalen Glover. What's good, boys? And where'd it go? Retracted. What happened?
Oh, what's good, boys? In a while since I spoke with y'all, I gotta admit I'm a little concerned about the convention being postponed. Something tells me it's going to be virtual. So who knows?
Oh, is that what the message said? Wow, why'd I get retracted?
Yeah, I was able to pull it right before.
Oh,
man.
Oh, right.
That's crazy. Yeah, I mean it is what it is. It was gonna happen. Like you said, Blackwing, I'm not too excited about a virtual con. There's just so many things that can go wrong, and it opens the door for them to just overprice for a lot of things.
Oh my gosh, you were absolutely
a lot
correct,
of things.
Because I see the promotions for all these Galaxy cons on Instagram, and a lot of the voice actors I follow, they're a part of those cons, and I know they do like these live chat rooms for like these one-on-one chat rooms that they like to do, which is fine. Voice actors, they still have to get paid and everything. I just feel like the pricing of it though is a bit over
And
the
it's
top.
not the actual actors that are doing it. It's the con that's doing it. The con is in charge of monetizing that type of thing, and the way that they value or undervalue some people it's a little questionable. So that's one thing. Like especially at Power Morphicon, when you go over there, you're talking, standing over there and talking to them and greeting them. That's free. It's free.
Yeah.
I mean, it's at your discretion whether or not you want to support them and buy like a print or get a signature. But talking to them, they're open to talking. Most of them are open to talking to you for free. So now that they're able to monetize it, it's gonna be a little bit more confusing.
question, Jalen, for you. Jalen. Oh my
Oh.
God. I'm sorry. Jalen just said something. That's why I'm lost at it. He said sorry about sorry that his system's been acting pretty wonky, etc., etc. But all right, Blackwing, question for you. When it comes to, like, for instance, the Galaxy Cons and things like that, because of those prices, does that kind of deter you from, like, I don't even want to be associated or even look into it? Or are you still like, I'll participate, but yeah, I'm not paying those exorbitant prices to go ahead and speak to like voice actors that I'm interested in?
I would have to say no, because of the prices are really the one thing that keeps, turning me away from it. And a lot of these voice actors that are, doing these Galaxy Cons are a lot of them are people that I love. Like last year there was a big Justice League cast panel that they did live on YouTube, and that was the only thing I pretty much watched from these like virtual cons. Everything else that all these virtual cons are putting out, I didn't really bother watching, because I just feel like if I'm gonna watch like a panel, I feel like I could just watch it on YouTube. I could just look it up on YouTube and just watch it there.
Exactly.
Right. Okay.
I mean, like,
Okay.
yeah, like I said, I personally don't even know if they're gonna do personal meet and greets, or if it's all gonna be panels and how that's gonna work. The only way that I see this working perfectly is if PowerMorphCon does not charge for any of that stuff. I know that it's gonna be a burden on them, especially if they're trying to develop an infrastructure for it. But yeah, like Blackwing, I met you personally at a New York Comic Con, and the very
Yes.
bottom floor was all exclusive to those meet and greets and all that stuff, and the lines were crazy, but they are pricey as hell. They're like beyond pricey. We got another super chat from Christian Durius. He says, "I'm gonna get harder classes fall 2022." Good for you, man. Like if there's
man.
one thing that I can say, like when you're in school, try to get as much out of it as you can. Like a lot of people say, "Oh, there's no like benefit to schools anymore." But I mean, if you're in there, just try to get as much benefit as you can, because it's important. I mean, it's important. But yeah, it's gonna be a situation that we'll learn more about going into. They said June, but I don't know. I really don't know how it's gonna work. I really don't know how it's gonna work, and if it's gonna work perfectly. If they're gonna be able to get the people that we want for the show. This could be beneficial in ways of like getting those international people. But just thinking
Yeah.
about the whole logistic side of developing something like this and putting something like this together, I do not want to be in their shoes right now, like at all, at all. Blackwing,
Oh no.
we like here over the rest of us have already said our say on what we take about the franchise, but since the title of this video is "Does Hasbro Care What Fans Want?" as a fan of Power Rangers for a long time, in your opinion, do you think that they care about the fans, and with what direction that they're going right now?
I feel that they're taking the route of, pulling things, left and right, but I feel like it's a double-edged sword. It's like a yes and no, because like we see with the Lightning figures, they do, release, multiple seasons. Of course, they're still putting out, re-releases of, MMPR stuff like the Power Morpher, the Dragon Dagger, and I won't be surprised if they release a Lightning Collection version of Saba somewhere in the future. I will not be surprised by that at all, or even the Power Sword, maybe. But as for Hasbro caring about the brand, it's pretty much like this is still like year 2 of Hasbro's run with the franchise, so I'm still waiting to see what they plan to do. I mean, with the toys, the Lightning Collection, that's selling like hotcakes. Of course, with each wave, I always like to see to make sure every time a new wave is announced, I like to see like hopefully there's no MMPR in the wave, because they love to just milk MMPR until the cows come home. But I just like to see like other seasons get represented. And so far with this, this past wave of the Lightning Collection, I'm not a toy collector, but I'm loving like the positive reactions from it. So that's what I like to see. As far like, can I bring up my stuff about the show, or That's
Yeah,
man.
definitely.
Okay.
But before you get just in case his comment goes away, Jalen Glover hit us up with another super chat. How do you think this is going to affect the people that went to the previous conventions? They think they would want to keep moving forward with this. And then another one from the Blur who says, "PMC moved 2022. Glad I didn't get the airline tickets."
Well,
Well,
yeah.
let's address Jalen's question first. Do you think that's going to affect people going to the convention going forward? I think the restrictions health wise are going to change it, only that they're going to be a little bit more cautious. But I think after a while, things will start normalizing and people will start going back to conventions. What do you guys think?
I frankly I agree. Really, you can't really blame them for having to make these changes. They were hoping they'd be able to have people there in person. No one could foresee that the corona was coming through and Rona was going to have its reign as long as it's had.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so we're still waiting for that to finish up. So we're all working with it.
Yeah.
And with that being the case, take the time, enjoy that time that they're getting to work with it, and it gives you an opportunity to save more money. So that this way, when you are able to go to PMC in person, you can ball out.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
you can go ahead and be like, "Yo, I am buying this. I am getting this. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm living it up." You know, like you'll be able to do all of that. So I mean, take that time to save up. Take that time to plan. Take that time to meet and kind of converse with more people. Maybe you'll be able to set something up where you're like, all right, hey, you know what? I'm going to get a room. Did you get a room? Okay, we can share a room, blah, blah, et cetera, et cetera. You can do all of those things. So take that time. So it's okay. I don't think it's going to affect people in a negative way. It should actually come out to be something far more positive.
Blackman, do you think it's going to
But
affect
what about
anything?
you, Blackman?
I had to agree with what Daniel said because with this, this pandemic, maybe they're definitely using this time to find a way to make, the show better, make it bigger, brighter and, more extravagant than it was at the previous Power
Mhm.
Morphicon. Because sometimes, when it comes to, event planning, you have such a limited window just to get the things that you want and sometimes the things that you want to do doesn't come across the board. So this is definitely giving them a chance, to better plan ahead. And of course, like Daniel said, just giving other people a chance to save up more money. So when you go to the event, you could just, if you want to, buy a morpher, buy merchandise, a pin or anything, or you're saving up money just to get a photo op with, a certain group of Ranger actors, then yeah, that's the best, that's the positive mindset I would say to have with this situation.
Who's the top of your list if when Power Morphicon comes around? Who's the first booth you're going to?
Oh boy. That is tough. I mean, I wouldn't say a booth. I would definitely have to say you guys, even though I'm part of the team, because
No, come
I
on,
was
get
really
your
like-
lips off our butt. Come on, who is it really? Let's go.
No, man. No.
But
I'm like, dude, I want to hear that. That's good. That's perfect. No, but yeah, besides us, man, your family. You're gonna
man.
While he
blah,
answers
blah.
that, you guys in the chat put down who's the first booth you're going to next Power Morphicon. But go ahead, Blackwing.
I definitely have to say, like, as far as booth go, I would definitely have to say Jason Font because Time Force is my favorite season. Jason Font played, my favorite Red Ranger. I just loved everything about Wes's character. The whole Time Force cast in general. I love everything about those guys.
Yeah.
Like, I got to meet Michael Capone last year at New York Comic Con. So that's one Time Force Ranger off the list. I just want to meet the entire cast because I know every single PMC that they come to, their reunions just get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
So like as far as reunions go, the Time Force cast really are at the top of the board when it comes to doing reunions.
That's awesome. Jason Font, man. Jason Font. Little side note, this is a little thing. So I've been watching this. You guys are going to know exactly what I'm talking about as soon as I say it. I've been watching this thing, this show on Netflix. And,
oh no.
Like,
I know what you're talking about.
Can I call you on the phone and cry for a little bit? Just
oh
because?
no.
like, listen, we all know like the behind the scenes of reality shows and the type of pressures that they're under to create like certain content. If that's the case, then that's I don't even know how to go about just I feel bad. Like I just feel bad. It's like, oh my god, you're getting painted in this light that's just it's not good. How do you walk away from this? You know, like this is like Hollywood suicide if he's trying to audition for other things, right?
I don't know, man. I mean, even his acting manager like hit him up on Twitter, was like, you acted your butt off right here, blah blah blah, etc. So I mean, it's kind of like letting people know here's a little bit behind the curtain. Yeah, it's reality, and yeah, we hyped some things up. Yeah, we kind of got some coaxing from the producers, and maybe there is a storyline involved. I mean, especially with the way they ended.
Yeah.
But still, nonetheless. He's getting views. His name is being spoken.
Oh, shoot.
People are seeing what's happening. So hopefully, with that being the case, he'll get a little push. Hopefully something will happen and people are going to be like, yeah, like, all right, let's cast him for this. Let's do that. I'm hoping. But we all know usually when you get in reality shows, professionally, it means almost death. You're really not going to get roles that you want. But he's young. He's young, he's good looking, he's active. That can still work for him maybe later down the line.
Blackwing, did you watch the episode on Netflix?
No, I'm not a reality TV show person, but I will remember how the news broke out on Twitter and Twitter just straight up exploded. I'm just like, oh boy, so another Ranger actor's getting canceled. Here we go again.
And right as he's getting canceled, another Red Ranger is getting out of jail, which was pretty crazy.
Yes.
Oh man.
Yeah, that really caught me by surprise. I was like, wow.
I have to admit, every time on a Ranger group or whatever, every time it comes up, like, oh, they're talking about Ricardo Medina, I do put, I wonder if he got his sword back, and I put a picture of him as I put a picture of him as what's his name from Decker from what do you call it?
Oh,
Samurai.
no.
Too soon.
Dude, I get roasted so bad on those pages. Like, oh my god, it's like I love it. I don't know. It's a joke, all right? It's a joke. We don't know what happened in that room. We have no idea what happened in that room. So
we don't condone any level of violence towards anyone.
No.
It's
simply a joke.
All we can do is pretty much just wish him well and that moving forward with his life, because I'm surprised that I'm pretty sure he got released because of good behavior, and I just hope that he gets finds a better path to go on for his life. That's all we just wish him well.
Only thing we can wish on.
That's all you gotta do.
So, in regards to Hasbro and them listening to what fans want, I mean, I break it down to like certain categories. So you got comics, right? You got toys. You got television and you got movies. So let's start off with comics. I think we're all in agreement that the comics is doing really well. I think that as far as
not according to Heirloom. Heirloom doesn't want to know about
Zordon's backstory.
I'm just picking on you. I love the guy so much. When he said that, I was like,
well, yeah, there are certain things. There are certain things that they shouldn't like. We're really just digging at it so long that all right, we know enough about MMPR. Let's take the time and pick a different team to focus on. That would be great. But I mean, content wise, like the work that's being put into these comics they're doing really well, and there's a lot of love being put into it, at least from Boom Studios side. Whether like if we get the news sooner or later that they're moving to IDW, I know Hasbro has like a better partnership with IDW, with their Transformer lines and all that. That's to be said, but at least on comic side, I think that the fans are somewhat happy. Would you guys agree?
Most definitely, you could definitely agree with that.
Right? I mean, I'm loving what I'm reading. You know what? Honestly, when it comes to entertainment, two things you want when it comes to Power Rangers is you want action and you want drama in the form of character development or character interaction. We are getting both of those in spades when it comes to the comic. Right now, I mean, there's a big thing concerning how Aisha is acting in the comic right now. compared to how she was portrayed in the show.
Yeah.
And with that, there's a lot of interaction. And it's changing what we knew the character to be. And I, for one, enjoy that. I want that kind of extension. I want that kind of growth in that way. I feel that conflict when it comes to interpersonal kind of relationships and characters breeds us kind of getting more insight on that character.
Yeah.
It develops that character. And the thing is, one thing I gotta say, which I'm learning more and more about, plot holes versus logic gaps. A lot of people like to say, oh, well, this is a plot hole. This is a plot hole. No, a plot hole is something that goes against or contradicts what they've already set up in the universe of a story. A logic gap is something where it's like, I would have chosen to do that. Any person in the right mind would have chosen to do that. That's a logic gap. Logic gaps happen because if we don't have logic gaps, you don't have the interaction of a character. And that's something that I'm enjoying seeing in Power Rangers and how they address it. And I feel it's some of the best writing I've seen in comics in a very long time. So I'm thinking right now when it comes to comics, they're definitely giving the fans what they want and introducing new fans to something that's like, oh, wow, I never realized it can be that good. So I think they're definitely doing
Blackwing?
But what about you?
I definitely agree with the comics because the comics is taking, MMPR to places where they'd never gone before. One of the things that really caught me by surprise, I think this was in Go-Go. There was a issue where they actually bring in the Edenoids, from Mass Rider. I was like, oh, the Edenoids. Like, I didn't think they were gonna dive deep on this. I'm like, that is very interesting. So the fact that they're, exploring these things that are in the NPR lore, I just find that very, fantastic because you see how season 3 started up with, as a, a backdoor pilot for Mass Rider, and they decide to, go deeper on where the Edenoids came from in the comic books. So I found that very fascinating, and especially now with the current line of comics, you have 2 different books coincide with each other, kind of like how the X-Men books, you have your X-Men Gold Team, X-Men Blue Team, and you're getting, 2 for the price of 1. You get to see where all your favorite Rangers are up to, what's going on, and you're getting you're just getting double the action, which I can say is brilliant.
Yep. Yeah. I think we're on the same page here. It's great to see what they're doing with comics. There are some hit and misses for me. Some of the misses were stuff like Beyond the Grid. I really did not care for Beyond.
Yeah,
I didn't really care for Beyond the Grid.
Yeah, I could say that was. Not
I think it was the art
me.
style that threw me off. But we do have another super chat. The Blur, he says, question: when conventions began to return, is it possible to go to conventions as a photographer for a website like the Illuminati? Ooh, that is. I mean, that it's different. It's different from convention to convention. So if you go to like a convention site and you head over to their webpage, they have press qualifications. You look that up, and it's definitely different from convention to convention. So that's something you may want to look up. But I think next up on the list, so we got comics. Toys. Let me say this first. Toys, I think they're doing a pretty good job on, because Hasbro, I mean, they are one of the best toy companies out there. But there is one thing that's pretty telling for me, as far as where I think that Hasbro is going with the brand and what they're going to be doing. You guys can debate this if you want, but Hasbro and all other third party or other people that are licensed out to use the brand, they always go back to MMPR. As seen in the last week, we had that, what, I can't remember what the brand, they're doing some like stylized brand of the Megazord, and then we're getting
Super 7. Was it Super
that's
7?
the figures, but they're doing a Megazord one that they announced like a few weeks ago. It had like dragon wings or something, and then
yes.
and then now they're doing the Super 7 figures. So for me, it's pretty telling to that mixed with, the whole Netflix thing. Everybody's more focused on MMPR, and that's the thing that they're gonna, get behind and push forward going on with toys. But as far as toys for me, Hasbro is doing a decent job. Daniel?
You're muted.
I can't hear you, bro.
I'm sorry. I like to mute when people speak, so there's no weird background. Honestly, when it comes to toys, the only complaint or only thing I have to say versus like Hasbro and do they know what the fans want and are they giving it to us is more of, look, you put out a Lightning Collection. Lightning Collection is supposed to be just like as good or as premium as your Star Wars Black Series or whatever.
Okay.
Tell me the last time I've seen a mistake when it comes to painting on one of those. Tell me the last time I've seen a mistake where pieces are missing when it comes to the Star Wars stuff. Why is it okay for you guys to have these little problems when it comes to the Power Ranger stuff? This is toys. This is your bread and butter. This is where you guys know how to do what you do. So why is it that you're so lackadaisical when it comes to your toys for the Power Ranger line? But yet I can go to my Transformer line, things are great. I can go to the Star Wars line, things are great. I can go to the My Little Pony line, things are great. So why is it that you're so lackadaisical when it comes to the Power Ranger line? This is now what we're going on year 2 of you guys having this. We've given you the time to go ahead and correct the errors. This is year 2. Show us that you care. That's my opinion.
Blackwing?
Kind of like what Daniel said, because I remember when that whole bit regarding the white Dino Ranger helmet with no paint was horrendous. I can't believe something like that actually slipped under their radar. But again, it's best, like I said, give the fans what they want, because I know I'm not the only one that's tired of seeing, re-releases of MMPR roleplay weapons and all that. I know I'm not the only one that's tired of seeing that. And I know I'm for one that likes, I'm not a toy collector, but I would like to see, new things. Like, for instance, with the Zeo Megazord, I'll admit, I was disappointed that the Zeo Megazord wasn't, buildable like the MMPR Megazord. You give special treatment to the MMPR Megazord, but you pretty much have the Zeo Megazord already built with added wings, which is not really a detail that was never in the show. So I want to see them actually, pay attention to detail, but don't add too much. And also, give more things that people that we never, stuff that we never seen before. I'll admit the monster figures was a surprise, but I'm not really interested in buying monster figures.
Neither.
I'm not interested in buying a King Sphinx. I'm not interested in buying a pumpkin wrapper. I don't care. I don't care how iconic they are. I don't watch Power Rangers for the monsters. I watch them for the for the heroes and for the villains. If you're gonna make villains, choose iconic villains. No one wants to buy Ecliptor. No one wants to buy Monster of the Day figures. I swear, if I see an iGuy figure that's gonna get announced, I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna lose it if an iGuy figure is gonna get.
We got another super chat. It is from Christian Durius. He says, "I'm wondering how would you adapt Kira Major? If he's saying us, okay, that'd be an easy task. But he's talking about if he's talking about how Hasbro would. I think it's probably different for you, Blackwing, but I think for us here over at the Illuminati or people, me, Joe, and Daniel, we're under the impression that they wouldn't even have to do it after Dino Fury. But I mean, I don't even. I'm not caught up on Kira Major, so I'd have to look into it and give you an answer later. Speaking on that, Blackwing. Do you what's your opinion on our take of what's gonna happen after Dino Fury?
I know you guys have brought up some multiple different opinions. As for me, I mean, whatever you guys say, I agree. I take everything what you guys say, and it's your opinion. I don't bash you guys for like how you guys put out the news regarding saying that PR is getting canceled, and because of the Toei split. I was just like, what are y'all doing? Like, what
I
are
didn't even say that.
They
We didn't say that.
Like, they didn't, like, y'all did not say PR was getting canceled. You strictly said that Toei and Hasbro are splitting. That said nothing about getting canceled. Now, nowhere did you see canceled in that article. Now, regarding where the franchise is gonna go, I just want to be, I'm like one of those people that I just say, surprise me.
you.
That's all I say.
Would you'd be down with an
Because-
animated series? A
Yes,
good animated series?
Yes, a good animated series, because I, for one, like to see different takes, try something new, because I'll admit, like, the whole decade of the Neil Saban era was just kind of like sitting there watching paint dry.
Mm.
As good
Oh.
as Dino Charge is, that whole era just I felt like we were all, trudging through that whole era just for, good Power Rangers content.
But you'll see
That's
in
what I-
Ranger groups, these people are like living and dying by like, oh, the live action is perfect. It's all perfect. Why would they stop adapting Super Sentai? It's perfect. The whole formula is good. Why change it? The formula isn't good. The formula needs to be fixed. There has to be something that they need to do to fix it. They have to reboot the series. I mean, they have to start from the ground up. And as from a company like Hasbro that wants to take over this franchise, you really want to make sure that you have full control of what the IP that you have. And if you're tied down to certain things, it's harder for you to grow. That's just my opinion.
Right.
I agree. I mean, I definitely agree. The animated tip, definitely. I think it's something that should be done. If people are concerned about, okay, hey, it's going to be a departure from what we know as Power Rangers. Power Rangers is, once again, it is formulaic. We have to deal with us taking footage from something that's already existed and then also doing something here. What makes Power Rangers so dynamic, so amazing, so appealing is the live action stuff. So, I mean, what I would always suggest is, hey, you know what? Can we kind of bump up the quality? Can I get the Cobra Kai type fighting and stuff like that when they're out of suit right there? Can I get that? And then after that, you can still go to our other footage as well. But if they do it that way, that's going to kind of make them want to do a lot more in-suit stuff also, which I'm not against. I mean, give me more, give me more. I know that we have a little bit of an issue concerning violence in America, and when it comes to stuff on TV, and how there's two schools of thought, and they're coming into conflict over and over and over again, especially when it comes to children's programming. So that may be a little bit of an issue. But I say, let's try to go for it. And truth of the matter is, for the animated stuff, go ahead and hire the Boom team that's already doing writing, and let them go ahead and head a kind of animated series, and let the animated series be based on the Omega Rangers. So this way, it's not really encroaching on what's happening with the actual series that's running at the same time.
I want to add on to what you said. I was thinking back to that one episode of Time for Toku with Squall Charleston. Shout out to you, Squall. He did an interview with Melissa Flores, and she said, who she was also part of the franchise when she was part of Hasbro. She said how the franchise has more than one audience, and she is correct. You have, your young audience who pretty much doesn't really care about the formulaic portion of the show. They just watch it just to watch it. You have, the toy collectors, and you have, your adult audience who pretty much enjoy, the good old days of the franchise, the serious tone of seasons, whether they're childish or they're actually to incorporate some deep, dark storytelling. And yeah, that's pretty much what she mentioned. And I agree with her. She's right. The franchise does have more than one audience. It's just, I think the franchise has a hard time to incorporate it to all three phases. So
who should they focus on more?
I feel like I may be biased for saying this, but I really do say they need to pay attention to more of, the adult audience, because, I know it's hard for a company to pay attention to every single person. I'll give example. For instance, take Marvel. Marvel has, you have your comics, You have the MCU films, you have Marvel live action television shows, and you also have Marvel animated TV shows. Marvel knows how to incorporate it to all their audience because they're part of Disney. They're a family brand. So you have, TV shows for, for the teenagers and for the kids. You also have, your live action shows like Agents of Shield for, the adult centered audience, and of course you have the films where catered to everybody.
We got another super chat. He says, the Blur says, do you guys believe in if Hasbro would release toy commercials of the Lightning Collection and other Power Ranger toys, amount of interest would rise? Forgive me if I'm wrong. Are toy commercials still like a thing? Because it's all like YouTube ads.
Nah. It's all like short 30-minute ads. Because like for instance, if you watch Nickelodeon would just put up like a 15-30 second toy ad. It could be like a toy ad for a girl toy, or like ad for like a boy toy, or even just a commercial for Nerf guns, and that's all you get. You don't really get toy commercials anymore, like how you get those long infomercials from Time Life. Those lasted for like a minute to like a minute and 30 seconds.
Yeah,
you don't get those kind of commercials
anymore.
I
don't know if they'll like. I think the only thing that will they'll promote is probably like their basic line, their line aimed towards kids, because that's what's gonna actually sell for them. They already got the adult collectors in the bag, with Twitter, Instagram, and all these other sites just promoting it, so they're fine there. I really don't think it has anything to do with commercials. So we talk. Yeah, go ahead.
Just before you asked that question about, well, then who should they focus on? And the truth of the matter is, Blackwing said it without literally just putting it out there direct. They should focus on all. Like you just said, he pointed out, Marvel's able to do it with they have animated shows for the younger audience and for the older audience. Transformers also does that, where younger audience and older audience, and then after that we have the films. So it's the same thing when it comes to Power Rangers. We can have something for the younger audience. You can do it with the chibi type drawings, the bigger heads and blah blah whatever like that. So that's for the kids, and then after that you can have something for just the middle range audience, and that can be live action, and then also give them their animated as well. And then after that, boom, you can go ahead and hit people with a broader scope. But for film, you can do your PG, or even if you want to be daring, but I wouldn't say go PG-13. But you can do that too, and that would work. So you should go ahead and attack it from all angles. Go ahead and maximize, make the money. I mean, Disney's sitting here doing it, and they have a model that makes sense. I'm not saying make everything the shared universe, even though that's what they're going to try to do. But what I am saying is what they are taking advantage of is seeing the age kind of like differences, and making sure that they have a price point for each one of them by giving them something that they can consume. That's pretty much theirs, and they can aspire to look into getting into something else when they get a little bit older.
Nice.
I love it. That's what they should do.
Nice. We have another super chat from Christian. Thank you again, Christian. He says, first PR movies are gonna be on Disney Plus Australia, I think he's trying to say. I mean, I have to look into that. That's a weird
that's interesting.
Like, I don't know rights-wise how that happened.
Yeah, but it's distribution. It's distribution. Yeah. Where in Australia do they have a Paramount connection? Do they have this? Do they have that? Maybe they don't. So it's like, screw it. Disney, you guys down? Yeah, sure. Here.
So I think the last area that we can explore as far as Hasbro caring what the fans want is the movies. We did have a movie, as you guys all know. Was it 2017? The 2017 Lionsgate movie. In your guys' opinion, from what they released, do you think there's a lot of fan input, or did they seem like, at least on Lionsgate side, did they feel like do you feel like they appreciated or valued your wants for that movie? Either one of you.
Blackwing?
How can I say this? Because I remember when I went in to see the movie that day, I I was impressed with, the route that they went with. I'll admit, I was tearing up during the whole morphing scene and just seeing them just walk with the epic, music in the background, because that I actually found pretty interesting. And I think they were actually going for a new take with, diving deeper into the character development, because everyone, if you look at MMPR season 1, pretty much everybody seemed very one-dimensional. We didn't really get to see the deeper reason for these characters and why they're here and why they want to do this. And for instance, the campfire scene, you get to see why everybody's here. You get to see everybody's problem. Zach having to deal with his mother who's sick, Billy who's on the spectrum, Trini who's dealing with girlfriend problems. You get to see all these problems that all these characters are dealing with, and we didn't really get that in the show. So for them to go a different route, I found that very interesting. I thought that was nice. I had no problem with that at all.
Daniel?
I do understand that kind of view, and you're right. But the thing is, they didn't have to, because we're taking characters that were from the show and we're bringing them into a film, so they didn't have to for those original Fox films. With this one, they had to. They're putting characters that we have not seen on screen as these characters that we know and love. So we have to introduce them to you. And I think they did a great job. That's the thing where I definitely agree with you on. The exposition, giving us that more character. My dog is just wants to be on the show. And like all that bit of information and insight that we got concerning the characters was great. And I loved it. I liked what I saw. I liked what they did. Sure, the take on the Zords and Goldar may have been a problem.
Yeah.
Nacho cheese Goldar.
Yeah, there you go.
Nacho cheese Goldar.
God.
But still, hey, they tried. They didn't listen to us all the way, because Nacho Cheese Goldar is clearly the part where you're like, what?
But do you think that they're
What
going to
did
listen to us for when Hasbro releases their movie eventually?
I hope they do. I trust that they will.
It's
I mean, that's the thing.
it's gonna be tough. It's definitely gonna be tough. It's like, do you guys go with Mighty Morphin again? Are we gonna go through that whole thing? It's gonna turn into the whole like Spider-Man thing where it's like, oh man, are we gonna omit some things because it's just are we gonna omit Uncle Ben and the Power Rangers? Are we gonna omit their origins and just have them be Power Rangers already? Like what's a good for you guys? What would be your best way to tackle this franchise? Would you go with MMPR? Would you go with something else? Would you be a little bit more meta with it? What do you guys think?
I say, like Joe have mentioned many times, I say go to Lightspeed Rescue route with it. Just have like the government create their own, fighting force. Just take the Lightspeed Rescue route, because how many times are we gonna be singing the same song on after 10,000 years I'm free, it's time to conquer Earth, Alpha Rita's escaped, recruited team of teenagers with attitude. How long are we gonna keep singing the same song over and over?
It's definitely you have to do a different take. You have to do something different, and I don't know, man. I don't know if we're ready for a movie quite yet. I know like people are up in arms about right now they're mad that it's leaving Netflix and we don't have do you guys know, is there a proper home for it yet? Did they announce anything?
Nope, still nothing.
Nothing.
Still nothing. It's like the day is pretty much here where all those Netflix seasons all those PR seasons are gonna have to start saying goodbye.
It's crazy. We should do like a little countdown video. It's like, all right, here we go. Where's it going? Where's it going?
Everybody get your tissues ready.
I know it's affecting
and
the retro team's side, because
Heck yeah, man.
Yeah.
They're about
Man, the retro team, it's like they might as well just, hey, we're just doing token stuff.
It's like you're forcing our hand to do illegal shit. You're forcing.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want us to be the bad guys and tell people to go to Kiss-Asia. You don't want us to do that. But I mean, that's what's happening. I'm not saying people should do that. Pirating is bad.
Pirating is bad, yo.
But
I don't do that
bad.
shit.
No. But Abram did say something very interesting, which is about listening to the fans when it comes to the movies. And he just said it in the comments, and he says, I think they shouldn't. Look at Marvel. Marvel said, we have a plan and we are going to go ahead and execute it. They did not listen to the fans. So much so that they started to fool fans in trailers. Remember, Thor lost his eye. And then they did a whole thing where in the trailer, they digitally replaced it and kept his eye in trailers at moments where his eye was
Yep.
already gone. Because they were like, you know what? If we just listen to them and do this and do that and leave these things out, it's not going to be as great as a payoff as what we expect and what we want. So in some ways, we're not going to listen to you. We're going to tell you what you want, and you are going to love it. But the thing is, Marvel is strong enough to do that. They have enough money to do that. They have a huge enough backing to do that. Power Rangers, I can't say that's the case. But if they know what they want to do and their plan is established, do it.
Mm.
That's what I would suggest. I mean, if you guys
Don't
know what
listen
you're
to the
going to do,
fans.
and it's just like, yeah, if you know what you're going to do
Take
and it
the
makes
risk.
sense,
Take the
stop
risk.
listen. Yeah, stop listening to the fans and start telling the fans what they're going to like, because you can, because you have a plan that's going to work. It makes sense. But if you really don't have a plan, and you're, yeah, we'll just kind of, we'll see what happens. It's one season. No one knows. Yeah,
Like,
if you're sitting
Here's
there,
MMPR again.
Yep.
there you go. Yeah, then that will be the case. In fact, I feel that should be our barometer. That should be our litmus test. If they give us MMPR again, we know that they really weren't really thinking about it fully.
Yeah.
That's what it kind of feels. Unless they give us something hard, strong, and great with MPR, something that's different with MPR.
Do you guys think? Okay, so we're getting close to, more news on Dino Fury and the release and everything. Do you guys think it's gonna be a hit or a miss? Man, I think the pause already.
So it's yeah, right. The pause
It's that
kinda lets you
long
know that-
sigh pause. It's just like, where do I even begin if Dino Fury is going to be hit or miss? Because I know people were disappointed when you guys announced that it's going to be adapting Real Soldier. And yes, I'll admit I'm sick and tired of seeing dinosaurs, but of course, dinosaurs are the bit that sells.
Yep.
But I'm giving Dino Fury a chance. If I had to sit through the entire season and the season's trash, which I have been doing for a whole decade as it is, even though I still say Beast Morphers, it's not trash. I say Beast Morphers is like mid to average.
Yeah.
But if I have to sit through another mid to average season again, then hey, so be it. It is what it is. It's again, it's like how I always keep telling that it is a kid's show. It's not, they can't really, raise the bar like how they used to do in the OG Saban era. And back then, even we were kids then, and we didn't know how serious that they were going deep.
Yep. We had no idea until those rewatches. We're like, oh shit, that's dark. That's some dark shit right there.
Exactly.
Daniel.
I agree. I mean, the thing is, but I'm just worried. Honestly, in some ways, I am part of the fandom. In other ways, I'm not. But like I always say, concerning fandoms are fickle and fragile. So the thing is, we'll say we want something. Then when you give it to us, that's where the whole fickle part comes in. We're like, no, I don't like this. No, change it, make it something else. You're like, well, I just listened to you. I just did what you want. So I feel there's that pressure when it comes to Dino Fury also. And when it comes to it, it's like, I'm afraid to say that I kind of see Dino Fury coming through with some little level of sizzle and then just kind of puffing out, kind of like Beast Morphers did.
Yeah.
I mean, I was super excited for Beast Morphers. It wasn't bad.
Yeah.
It wasn't amazing. It was good.
So, we discussed all aspects of Power Rangers right now. I think we can come to a conclusion with the direction that they're going. Yes or no, do you guys think that Hasbro cares what the fans want? Daniel?
In ways that will help them make money, yes. In ways that will truly satisfy the fan, I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, there are so many other like things that have happened with other companies that it's kind of like, all right, I know what the fans want, but if I give it to them, is it going to be a problem for me? I mean, Star Wars.
Yep. Oh God.
The fans said they wanted something different. They wanted something new. They wanted to be shooken. I want to be shooketh. Okay, fine. Here it is. I'm going to kill all your heroes and give you new ones. What are you doing? I don't know. What do you want me to do? I don't know what you want me to do. You
It's
said
like-
you want something so new, so different that it would blow your socks off. That's new and different.
John Favreau got it right though.
Nope.
John Favreau got it right.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
he's getting it right now. But once again, is he really getting it right? All he's doing is tapping into something that's already old and bringing it right back in front of us and
Oh.
adding something new to it.
That's fan service for you. That's definitely.
I mean,
fan service.
honestly, think about it. With Mandalorian right now, people are like, "Oh, it's so great. It's so great." I'm like, he just brought Boba Fett back for you. Oh yeah, that's true. I do remember that guy. He just brought someone from another show that he worked on before into now this reality for you. Oh, that's new, but it's a character you already knew. Oh yeah, you're right. And let me bring Luke back. I mean, I love it. But once again, is it new? Only because it's like, oh, it's on a show. That's
Come
not
on,
really
man.
new.
Rosario
You're changing
Dawson,
something that's
dude. You brought in.
Oh no, I love
Come
it.
on.
Once again, I love it.
That was
I'm
great.
eating it up.
That
I'm
was
eating
really
it up.
great.
But is it new?
Yeah.
It's not new. Rosario Dawson's character, Ahsoka, was new when she first came on the scene.
Mm.
Is she new now? No.
Yeah.
But we're getting more info concerning where she's been and what's happening with her. That is new. So it's a new aspect to something that's old.
Blackwing, yes or no?
It's like, yeah.
As far as listening to the fans, yes, like Daniel said, but as far as incorporating that, no. I would definitely have to say a hard no. And that's just me being
Hey,
honest,
man, that's
because,
honesty is all we want, man. That's all we want.
because like I said, if you're gonna give us something and you say you're gonna stick to your guns and promise us that you're gonna up the quality after we've gone through like a whole era of just nonchalant, average, basic, boring storytelling, then do it. Because if you're gonna say that you're gonna do it, do it. If you're not, then you're pretty much just lying to our faces.
Yep, I totally agree with you. Yeah, they hear what the fans are saying. They definitely hear what you're saying, but it doesn't change the direction of where they want to go. So when I see comments online like, oh, why would they end Toy? Why would they buy this brand and then just get rid of it? Because they're at the end of the day they're trying to make money. They're trying to make money, and you gotta.
The name of the game is money.
Audible. You gotta do these certain things. Make changes. If you're gonna, I always go back to the definition of insanity. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over
and over again.
and expecting a different result.
New result.
Different result. We've gone through Saban. We've gone through Disney. We've gone through Saban again. The formula, it worked in the 90s because it was so fresh and new. But the formula doesn't work anymore. We're bombarded with all these different things, all these different mediums of entertainment, whether it be social media or movies or television, streaming services. Now you gotta make a change. Before we head off, we do have one more super chat from Jalen. He says they're probably going in different directions based on what they see. They want to see how other people are going to respond to it. True. But for like I said on different shows, I feel like they're just moving into they're incorporating their Transformers formula for Power Rangers, which has made them millions and millions of dollars. So if that's what they want,
Despite how bad those movies can be.
despite how bad the movies can be, I mean, it makes them money, and that's the only thing. That's really the only thing that matters. Like even if you don't like a film, if it breaks bank in the box office, you're getting another one in the next 2 years. So it doesn't. I think that's definitely the direction we're going with that. So before we sign off, Daniel, where can we find you on social media?
Oh, well, you can find me usually on Instagram at Battlestar Galactica. That's right, the most electrifying name in geek pop culture. Or you can find me on Twitter under the Illuminated BSG.
Illuminated. Blackwing, thank you again for joining us. Where can we find you on social media, and what are you working on right now?
You can find me on my YouTube channel, of course, Blackwing 2040. I am also on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at Blackwing 2040, and I just recently started a Twitch last week. And you can pretty much find me on Twitch every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Ooh, a
My Twitch
schedule.
channel is for
Nice.
now, for now, for now,
Hey, man, it works.
because sooner or later, sometimes when you run out of stuff to play, you gotta have like, okay, I gotta put my schedule on pause and try to
What are you playing
rechange
right
it
now?
up. I am currently playing Ultimate Alliance 3 on the Switch. That's actually one of the reasons why I bought a Switch in the
Oh,
first
nice.
place, because that game was a Switch exclusive. And I'm also playing Sonic Forces because I just felt the need to play a Sonic game. And I will be incorporating Battle for the Grid. I only bought it because of the Power Rangers fan in me, despite how I feel about that game anyway. But it's just I just had to buy it because I just wanted to try it for myself. And as far as other stuff that I'm working on YouTube, like I'm doing a Disney movie marathon where I'm going through all the eras of Disney. The only thing is, so people just get this through their heads, I'm not doing sequels unless they released in theaters, no live action films, and no live action remakes.
No Prince
So
of Thieves? What?
I know some
Oh,
movies that
jeez.
release directly to DVD and video have some good moments. Like for me, it's the Extremely Goofy movie. But yeah, as long if it released in theaters, then I'll
Yeah.
do it. If it didn't
Okay.
release in theaters, I am not doing
All
it.
right. Well, you can
All
find me
right.
on all
All right.
social media at Jezzer Zeus. Again, thank you so much for all the super chats. Thank you guys for joining us on this Saturday. I hope you have a good rest of the weekend. I think there is a Retro Ranger wrap up, and I think they're doing Netflix's Ultraman. I could be
Yes.
could be totally wrong. So if you guys do us a huge favor, I wish there was like a raid button we could do over on Streamlabs and hit it had you go straight to that live stream. But if you guys are a fan of Josh, L, and Corey, please head over there, show some support. We would love to have you. I mean, the conversation.
There are like 39 to 40
Yep,
people in this
come
chat
on.
room. I better see all 40 of y'all
Do
in the
not
chat room.
fail us.
That's
Do
it.
not fail this. Come on. But thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys have a great weekend. And remember to like and subscribe to the Illuminati because guess what? We are always watching.